Hello everybody, this is Tim here again. Here's another BoomStick critique video. Let's start jump in with a classic, in my opinion. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? The Who Framed Roger Rabbit is directed by Robert Zemeckis and executive produced by Steven Spielberg. I love this Blu-ray. This is one of my all-time favorite Blu-rays. If you look closely right there, it says considered fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, Rotten Tomatoes is a critic site. I hate fucking critic sites, and I hate when movies have to post it on there to get people to know that critics loved it. I hate shit like that. But yeah, you flip it on the back here. The Roger Rabbit stars Bob Hoskins and a slew of other actors and characters. Namely, what's so great about Roger Rabbit is it takes place in like a cartoon world that's mixed with like the 40s and stuff, and cartoons coexist with humans. And there's like no way to kill a cartoon, but in comes Christopher Lloyd, who plays the bad guy. He's like Judge Doom. I love that. He's got this group of like cartoon animated weasels with him, which are really fun characters. And Bob Hoskins plays like this detective in the movie, who gets hired to spy basically on Roger Rabbit's girlfriend, Jessica Rabbit. Now Jessica Rabbit is if you can see her right there on the front. So the red hair, the big titted, really tall, hot redhead, who probably 90% of guys would fuck, whether she's a cartoon or not. But yeah, so he gets hired to spy on her. And what's funny, yeah, she's married to Roger Rabbit, which is the cartoon rapper right there, who's voiced by Charles Fletcher, I believe, who actually had a small role in Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight. His voice is great here. This Blu-ray comes with like bonus cartoons of Roger Rabbit, which is cool, and comes with a commentary, which is cool. 2-disc combo pack, which is cool. But yeah, I really love this Blu-ray. But yeah, enough about the Blu-ray. And Bob Hoskins is like this detective or whatever. He gets hired to like spy on Roger Rabbit's wife, Jessica Rabbit. And he goes to spy on her, and he sees her like playing patty cake with Marvin Acme, who's the head of the Acme Corporation, which is all those little gadgets and stuff you see in Warner Brothers cartoons. And he spies on her, takes photographs of it and shit. And the rabbit sees it, and then the rabbit runs off because he's freaked out. Because it's real funny the way they play it. It's like she's cheating. It's like they play it like she's been cheating on him, but all she's been doing is playing like patty cake with the dude. Actual patty cake hand game. And they're like, come on, Rabbit, this ain't the first. You're not the first guy whose wife played patty cake on him. It's pretty funny. I love it. So Marvin Acme ends up being killed, and they think, the rabbit was responsible, obviously. So it's Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I love that. And I love like the old school noir type 40s feel of the movie or whatever. Not some, old school 40s detective type style, of the movie. And another thing about Bob Hoskins' character is that he had a brother that was actually killed by a cartoon by having a piano fell on his head, which is hilarious. And so he's automatically suspicious and hates all cartoon characters. And so it's, him and Roger end up forming a friendship as he has to prove Roger's innocence. And they end up bonding together through the movie to eventually him loving cartoons again, and being accepting of them, which is cool. Get really fun scenes like the weasel showing up at Bob Hoskins' house, and then like he's got Roger Rabbit in the sink hiding him, and they're handcuffed together, and he's acting like he's doing laundry. He's got like soap bubbles and water covering him up, and fucking the weasels are like, all right, Valiant. If we find out you've been holding the rabbit, we'll hang you and your laundry out to dry. I love that. Judge Joe Doom, the Christopher Lloyd bad guy, he's great. Christopher Lloyd, I love Christopher Lloyd in this, Back to the Future, Addams Family 1 and 2, a lot of stuff. He's great in this. He's the only person that has a way to actually kill a cartoon character. He's got this stuff called dip, which what it actually does, I believe, is suck the color out of the cartoons, is what it does. Or the ink or something out of them. And he kills them like that. And there's actually a scene where he takes like a cartoon shoe, dips it down in it, and the shoe's got a look on his face like, no, man, no! And it actually disintegrates. I am really surprised they were allowed to put that in there. I do not see them getting away with that today, or being able to do that today. That was pretty hardcore for this type of movie, which is really a family movie. There's some dirty jokes in there every now and then, but it's really a family film. And what's amazingly terrific about this movie is it has so many cartoon characters in it. It has every Warner Brothers character they can get in it, every Disney character they can get in it, and you have never seen another movie with those big sets of cartoon characters in them like this movie did. So I applaud the movie for that. That's a first one in time only thing that this has happened. Of course, one thing leads to another. You find out that Christopher Lloyd was the one responsible for doing everything, and and they're also actually looking for the Bob Hoskins is actually also looking for the Acme contract because Acme owned Toontown, and he supposedly left not a contract but a will. He supposedly left a will for the place to Toontown to be given to the Toons. And they're looking for it, and at the end of it, you find out that Roger Rabbit actually has it. He actually wrote a love letter on it, and the reason you couldn't see the will because it's disappearing, reappearing ink, and then when the ink reappears, they're like, the day is saved. The Toons get Toontown, which I thought was cool. And then of course you find out that Christopher Lloyd is actually a cartoon character himself, which I thought was neat. It is kind of a big coincidence that he's also the cartoon character that killed Bob Hoskins' brother. It is, but the ending of it is so much fun. Christopher Lloyd starts like pulling off his hand, and it's like a bunch of different cartoon weapons. He's got like a buzzsaw trying to kill Bob Hoskins, and there's another scene where Bob Hoskins like dances and makes the weasel characters, Christopher Lloyd's sidekicks, like laugh themselves to death, and they die from that, which is cool. He did a great job. He actually tumbles when he falls. You see Bob Hoskins do like a tumble when he rolls and falls, because he was, I believe, a professional tumbler in a circus act, or his father was one, and he learned from him. It was something like that. I know he's a professional tumbler, but yeah, he did great there. A lot of fun this scene was, and then the final battle with him and Christopher Lloyd is a lot of fun. He ends up taking Christopher Lloyd out by spraying him with a dip. He hits him with a big bunch of the dip stuff because he's a cartoon as well. So he gets took out by the dip, and Christopher Lloyd has that face where he goes, oh, woo! He gets hit by the dip, fucking gets disintegrated, and great scene. And all the cartoon characters show up, and they're all wondering what kind of cartoon he was. And then the movie pretty much ends with Roger and Eddie Valiant, which is Bob Hoskins' name. They're now friends. Of course, Roger kisses him in a humorous moment. And it's really funny, really cute ending moment. And they all walk off into Toontown as the movie ends. Really wonderful movie with a good heart to it. Definitely a lot of fun. Other scenes in the movie that are a lot of fun. There's one part in the movie where Eddie Valiant, Bob Hoskins' character, actually goes to Toontown because he's looking for evidence and stuff like that to help clear Roger's name. He goes to Toontown. And fucking when he gets there, he actually falls off a building, and he's like, he's falling down, right? And then there is Bugs and Mickey Mouse in the same scene, man. It's like, whoa, mind-boggling. And he's asking them if they got a spare, and of course Mickey's like, no, because Mickey's real nice, with his persona. And then Bugs Bunny's like, yeah, I got a spare. I'll give you one. And he hands it to him, and as he's falling, he like pulls it out, and it's a fucking spare tire, and he's he's still falling. He's about to die, but of course he gets caught by another cartoon character down on the ground, and he's safe because of course nobody's gonna die in Toontown. But yeah, that was interesting. It was so cool to have Bugs and Mickey Mouse in the same movie together. And Roger Rabbit, his character is different enough to not be compared to Bugs Bunny. Bugs Bunny's more slick and sly. Seems more street smart. Roger Rabbit's character is more zany, I would say, and doesn't seem as smart as Bugs Bunny in my opinion. But he's a very lovable character though. But yeah, this is a great movie. Classic Robert Zemeckis in my opinion. I'm a big Robert Zemeckis fan as well. Bob Hoskins, great performance in the movie. Everybody does great. I really don't have any problems. Even the humor in the movie is really good too. You get really funny scenes where Bob Hoskins gets mad and like puts an egg inside some dude's mouth in a bar because he was aggravating him to death. And as Bob Hoskins is leaving, the girl who's like has a crush on him or whatever, who works as the bartender or owns the place or whatever, that guy looks at her and goes, "What was his problem?" And she goes, "A tune dropped a piano on his head, on his brother's head." And she says it like really straight faced, and everybody's like, "Oh." I just love that because it's like some dry type humor because it's obviously ironic because how ridiculous that is that his brother was killed by a cartoon character dropping a piano on his head. I love that. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and give my rating 4 stars. I love this movie. Great movie. Wonderful movie. Another thing, this is probably the last video you'll see on my regular account because I'm having some kind of YouTube monetization problem. I've heard over and over that there's some kind of bug in YouTube going around from people, and other people have had this problem too, where it's like attacking their monetization things and they can't monetize their videos. I'm a partner with YouTube. I make my money on here by monetizing my videos and getting paid for it basically. and I am not able to monetize my videos. So this is probably the last video you'll see on here on this Boomstick critique. But I'm gonna make like an alternate channel called basically Boomstick critique number 2, really, if I can, and just post more videos on there after this. So any future videos you see, if they're not on here, then they will be on there. Unless YouTube fixes the monetization problem before I post this video, then I'll just keep posting them on here. So we'll wait and see what happens. But if I end up having to post them on another like channel or whatever, then he'll just be like Boomstick critique, number 2 or whatever, something simple like that. So they'd be easy to find. So anybody that likes my stuff or sees my stuff and enjoys it, if this is the last video you see on my account right here, then just go to my other one if you don't mind, and you'll see the newer stuff as well. But yeah, all in all, Roger Rabbit, 4 stars, great movie. They've been talking about they've been wanting to do a sequel to it for a long time. I've really heard rumors of like a detective story of like Roger Rabbit and Mickey Mouse teamed up together, working together. I would love that. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, all in all, this is a great movie, and I'll see you guys again with the next video.